Good evening. I'm Tom Hunley, Mayor of Addison. We had an incident today in our east side of town. I just quickly want to commend our Addison Police Department, Fire Department, outside agencies that responded, our Public Works Department for streets that we had to close, our residents that had to either shelter in place or leave their homes due to the incident. But fortunately, it was an isolated incident. The situation was resolved, and I commend everybody that was involved. And it shows that when situations like this happen, that not only our own agencies and schools get together, schools had to close down, shelter in place too, but all working together to make sure a situation is secure and safe and with a good outcome. So I'll turn it over to our public information officer from the Addison Police Department.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Hello to all of you, and thank you for coming. My name is Officer Michael Vitello. I'm a police officer with the Addison Police Department and the Addison Police Department's designated public information officer. I'll be giving you some information on the facts of an incident which occurred at the 200 block of East LaPorte Avenue here in Addison, Illinois today. At approximately 10:56 a.m., a 911 call came in to the Addison Consolidated Dispatch Center, and a male subject informed dispatchers that he needed police to find his dogs, and if police did not, he would find people to do the police's job for them. The subject then hung up the phone, and dispatch attempted to call the subject back, but no contact could be made. Officers arrived on scene at approximately 11:01 a.m., and contact was made with the subject, who was displaying erratic and belligerent behavior. Information was also relayed to other responding officers, saying the subject was blocking the street off with a vehicle and spraying an unknown substance around the street. Information was also reported the individual was lighting items on fire in the middle of the street, and as officers approached the subject, the individual attacked officers with an unknown liquid and gas. Officers attempted to bring the individual into custody, and he retreated inside the residence. It was after some time on scene that the officers began taking gunfire from the subject inside the house, and officers took cover in the area. During the gunfire by the subject against police officers, a Addison police officer was struck in his vest. Addison police officers on scene did return fire at the subject. Officers from surrounding jurisdictions were called to the scene to assist, including the Northern Illinois Police Alarm System, known as NIPUS SWAT Team, and the DuPage County Metropolitan Emergency Response and Investigations Team, known as Merit Task Force. All officers who responded to the scene surrounded the residence and took shelter to contain the suspect in his residence in an attempt to keep the public safe. The police department made every effort they could to alert surrounding residents and the surrounding schools of the incident, and they were told to stay away from the area and shelter in their homes. Police officers on scene encountered random attacks of gunfire from the subject, who was shooting out of the residence over approximately the next 4 hours. Multiple attempts were made to get the subject to exit the house on his own free will and surrender to police. A perimeter by police personnel was maintained at all times in order to keep the subject contained and to keep the residents in the area safe. At approximately 3:15 p.m., the subject eventually surrendered and was taken into custody on the front lawn of the residence. There have been no reports of injuries or casualties to any civilians in the area, and some police personnel were taken to the hospital for only minor injuries, and they have all already been released at this time from the hospital. The suspect currently is in Addison police custody, and the investigation is ongoing with the assistance of the DuPage County Metropolitan Emergency Response and Investigations Team. The public is asked to stay away from the area, as the area is still an active crime scene being processed by the police. We would like to thank all of our neighboring agencies, including the Addison Fire Protection District, for their help in this matter. And we encourage the public and all media outlets to monitor our social media for further updates, and we will coordinate our next statements in conjunction with the DuPage County State's Attorney Bob Berlin and the DuPage County State's Attorney's Office for any charges against the subject. I will now take a few questions at this time.
Quick question for you. Is this person known to police at all? Had you been to this home prior?
We don't have that information at this time, and I have no knowledge at this time to say that he was a known subject to police.
Was anyone in his home with him him during this ordeal?
We're still evaluating that, but information at the time of the incident, police were told that he was the only subject in the house.
And do you know how old he is?
I don't have that information, I'm sorry.
When you say erratic, belligerent behavior, was there anything that he was saying to officers in that moment, or what was the actions like when police first responded?
That was the information that was received over the radio communication. I don't have the specifics on that, I'm sorry.
Do you know approximately, you said 4 hours, the gunfire was happening sporadically, but like an idea of how many rounds he fired?
That I don't know. They will evaluate that though with the investigation. They will take an account of all property that was damaged by the gunfire in the surrounding area, but I don't have an exact round count. I'll take 2 more.
The officer that was hit, so he was just hit in the vest, and is he one of the people who you said was taken to the hospital and has been released?
Correct. He's already been evaluated by medical personnel, taken to the hospital, no major injuries, already been released.
Can you just comment on just how much of like a precarious situation this was? I mean, given he was hit in the vest, there's people in homes, you know, all, this looks like a very condensed kind of residential area, just like how dangerous of a situation this was for the officers and people there.
I think the police's primary concern was just making sure that the subject was contained and that he wasn't going to escape his residence and cause further harm or danger to the community or any of the surrounding houses that were so close. So that was the police's primary concern. I think that's what all of our officers were mainly focused on, as well as just trying to keep other officers safe, but the public was obviously the first priority. Last question, if anybody has one.
Do you suspect that there was some mental health issues going on in terms of why he called in the first place, and would you have any suspicion about any of that?
I don't want to make any assumptions or comment on that at all, but based on the erratic behavior, we believe it maybe played some role, but I don't have specifics on that. So, as I said, any further information or statements will likely be released through our social media or in conjunction with any press releases with the DuPage County State's Attorney's Office. We really appreciate your guys' time and thank you.
Thank you.